Hey, good morning, guys. Mike Herd 360, and I'm doing a little different type video today. It's a screen recording of the app, the Spartan app to be specific. And the reason that I'm doing this is because the new battery symbols that they have, there's some confusion going on. Some guys not quite understanding what's happening when they're seeing their cameras. Here you can see all my Golives, 1, 2, and 3, the Mossy Oak, the Golive 1, Golive 2, or Golive 3. Those are all turned off at the moment, so I'm not seeing a battery symbol. But then you see the Golive 2 down here, and it's reading, looks like a partial battery, and it's a lighter green. Sometimes you'll see a dark green and a full battery, and I'll explain what's going on with that in a minute. But this is a really cool upgrade that Spartan did, and it's taken them a while to get to this point because it's tough. It's tough for these cameras and the app and the little battery symbol and all to work together correctly. They have to put in their software. They have to design it so that it reads certain parameters of voltage and then it displays a certain battery type. And so then, because of the Ghost and the Golive cameras, they can work with the AA batteries, which is really like a 9-volt source, and then they can also work with a 12 volt battery, and then they can also work with just a plain solar panel, which is really an 18 volt solar panel working voltage, and then you'll see in sunlight, you'll see 22, 23 volts. All of those power sources I just named are there to charge that built-in battery in the camera, which actually powers the camera. So it's a little tricky thing for these for their software to figure out what all's going on. And so they've done a really good job, but we still have to do our part. And I'm going to show you here, and this is where it looks like most of the guys are having a problem. When they made this upgrade, they also added another camera setting, and some people may not realize that, and it's battery type. You see it there. Okay, so depending on the power source, if you have AA batteries, you would select AA. If you have a 12 volt external battery, don't worry so much about lead acid, but a 12 volt external battery, you would select that. A solar panel, you would select that. Now that would be a solar panel type that is just solar plugged into the camera. If you have a solar battery system set up, either the one that uses the Spartan battery box or one of my solar power pack 1020s plugged in, well, then you would need to go back and add either 12 volt lead acid or AA plus 12 volt lead acid if you were running AA batteries in the camera. Why is that? Well, because to the camera, it's getting a 12 volt power source, okay? It doesn't understand that there's a solar panel hooked up somewhere charging batteries. So if you select solar, the camera will then think you've got just a solar panel hooked up, and it should be seeing voltages of 22, 23 volts, which is not going to happen. So you want to select the 12 volt lead acid, and then another thing I wanted to mention about that, for the 12 volt lead acid, they had to set a parameter of when it's seeing 12 volt, 12.5 volts to 12.9 or 13 volts or 14 volts or whatever, then it says, okay, I've got a full battery. They had to decide a voltage level of when is this battery going to be starting to die. And so it looks to me, based on what I've seen, anything below about 12.5 and you start getting that light green and partial battery. The thing about that is, when you're using a solar power pack, the one that I sell, the SPP 1020, or even the new model that I'll have coming out later this year, our output is kind of set at 12, anywhere from 12.3 to 12, little over 12.5 during the day. When full sun is hitting that solar panel and it's charging those batteries inside, you'll get over 12.5 volts. And then this app will show you, let's back out and go here to status report. This app will show you a partial battery that's a lighter green, and you can see right now it's thinking. So I'm saying 12.46 volts and 3.92 volts internal. Everything looks good. That's normal for my solar power pack. However, this camera thinks it's a 12 volt battery and it must be dying a little bit. Okay, so let's see. And I can actually, let's try to get that status report to update. Take a photo now, and maybe that'll update for us in just a minute. Now let's go up here to these. These are turned off. That's why it's showing 0 voltage. But look at this. When you tap that, it says the camera is running on its internal battery. Please check the external voltage on your status report to confirm. So it's kind of cool. You can tap that little icon where there's an explanation point, and it gives you a little bit more detail. It's a nice feature. Way to go, Spartan. Good job on that. I don't really know what else to say. Once these turn back on and they've got an external source, we'll see all that stuff change. You'll see the battery level, the color. I mentioned this a minute ago. When it's over about 12.5, I don't really know what that tipping point is, but it's somewhere around 12.5 volts. You'll see that go dark green and full, kind of like the one down here for the this white flash, which is not turned on, by the way. But let's see. I had it running on an external 6 volt power source, so it was showing full. Let's see if it has battery type, because I haven't even looked at that on this one. Let's go here. No. For the 6 volt cameras, the Go cams, there is no battery type setting. Okay. Sorry this is getting kind of long, guys, but I hope this answered some questions. Again, when you're running a Ghost, a Golive, Golive 2, make sure you get your battery type set correctly. Okay, that's a new feature to go along with these icons. All right, guys, it's Mike, Herd 360.